Good morning. And thank you so much for joining me on the very first Monday motivation. Now, this is something that I've actually been doing since 2008, since before I was self-employed as a coach and a trainer and a speaker. This is something I've been doing because I recognise that quite often Mondays are given a bit of a bad rap. They're sometimes given that whole, oh, it's Monday. Whereas in my point of view, if you're starting the week, why not start it with a bang? Why not start it and prepare for what's to come in the week, even if you don't know what's going to happen? So back in 2008, 8 years ago, I was working, like everybody else, employed and doing my best. And I realised that so many of my colleagues would come in with this kind of fear and dread on a Monday morning. So I used to find little motivational quotes. I'd send them around the office to certain people, and it started to spread. When I started my own business in 2010, I wanted to keep that tradition on. So 8 years later, one of the things that I'd love you to know about Mondays, and specifically these Monday motivations, are that they're made with you in mind. So if I look down like this every now and then, I've got some notes written down of what I wanted to say this Monday. So these are created with you in mind. These are created because we don't know what's going to happen on our Monday. We don't know what's going to happen in our week. So this week, and the very first one, I wanted to talk about, that feeling of feeling really stuck. And the reason that I wanted to speak about it is because it's now June. At the time of recording this, it's June 2016. And one of the things that people are starting to reflect on right now is the fact that we're halfway through 2016. So cast your mind back to December 2015, or maybe a little bit before. When you're going into that, it's the end of the year, things are going to be different, I'm going to have a new relationship, I'm going to lose weight, I'm going to gain weight, I'm going to mend the relationships that I've got with my close family that aren't so great. Maybe you just wanted to do something different, something new. You were feeling ambitious, you were feeling fired up about something, and now you've got to June and it hasn't yet come to fruition. Now, there could be 101 different reasons for this, but this is about motivating you for whatever those dreams, ambitions or goals were, and anything that you want to take forward in your life. Maybe you don't make resolutions, maybe you don't make promises to yourself at the beginning of the year. So just have a think for a second about what you've got in mind for this week and what you've got in mind for today. Have you got a busy day at work? Have you got an awkward situation to deal with? Just have a think about that for a moment. Now, even though I'm a coach and even though I speak to clients about things like this and friends and peers, I also look at what's going on in my life, because what's relevant for me is relevant for you, hey? So I was preparing for this Monday motivation last week, and I realised that sometimes when we're stuck, in order to move forward, we need to look back. Now, this sounds a bit kind of controversial, because many people will say, stop looking at the past, stop looking behind you. If you're going for a goal, look forward. If you're going for something that you want, look at the goal, work towards it. Some people will even tell you to stand in the place of where you've achieved that goal and look back. And I'm not disputing any of this, but what I really want to talk about is sometimes the reason why we say that we want new things and the reason why it doesn't happen. So where are you feeling stuck? Where are you feeling that you want to move forward and make a difference or do something different, but you feel like you just can't? Usually it's around things like this. You want something new. Maybe you want new friends or different friends. Maybe you want fun. You want more fun. You want more freedom. You want more friends. You want more love. Maybe you just want better health, better career, a better business, or maybe you're just having problems with your outlook, the way you're thinking about things, maybe your family. And for some people, and this has come up a few times over the last kind of month or so with different people I've been speaking to, you're thinking, well, what's the point? You know, what am I here for? What am I here to do? And you want to make a difference about that. So I just want to invite you to think about just one of those things, what that could be for you. It could be that you've decided that you want to clear out the garage, you know, or you want to tidy up the garden, maybe tackle one of the kids' rooms. It doesn't have to be something exponential, okay? So just think about one of those things and what it could be. Now, it's likely that with this particular thing that you have had something that you've been thinking about. It's likely that you have had, you tried to solve this problem before. Maybe you've tried to tidy up the garage before. Maybe you've tried to get a new job before. Maybe you've tried a specific diet. Maybe there's a relationship that you've wanted and you've tried that before. It could be kind of any of those things, but what is the thing that you've tried? So here's a couple of steps for you. Just think about one thing, and if you've got a lot, get a pen and paper and write them down, but just pick one. Pick the one that you think for you right now would make the biggest difference. So what would be the thing that would make the biggest difference? Then in the next step, I'd invite you to think about what you've tried before that hasn't worked. Now this is really important, and this is part of the, in order to move forward, you need to look back. So what have you tried before that hasn't worked? And write that down. It might be one thing, it might be a whole list of things. Now the next question is going to seem a really strange question, and it's this. Ask yourself this question. In order to move forward, what do I need to forgive myself for? In order to move forward, what do I need to forgive myself for? Let me give you an example from my life. So a couple of years ago, I was preparing to do some work with a specific client. Okay, they were a new client to me, and I decided that I was going to go in, do this work, and we were going to spend 6 months doing this work. Okay, now for whatever reason it didn't come about, and that meant that I then had to find something to fill that 6-month gap. But here's what was interesting. Every time I tried to move forward to look for other opportunities, do other things, which I was quite used to doing, I kept feeling a little stuck. I kept feeling like I couldn't move forward. And I asked myself a similar question. I actually went through these steps. So I looked at what it was I was trying to create. I looked at what it was that I had tried to do. And then I looked at what was happening. And I asked myself the question, what do I need to forgive myself for? And what came up for me was that I had kind of like beaten myself up, told myself, oh, I was so stupid, you know, why didn't you have a plan B? Why didn't you wait until this thing had happened before you'd confirmed it? Why didn't you put this in place? You know, and it was quite kind of self-effacing really. So I realised that in order for me to move forward, in order for me to get the thing that I wanted to do, I had to forgive myself for something that I'd done before. And 9 times out of 10, the thing to forgive yourself for are the things that you have done in the past, you know, fully meaning to be able to sort it out. You know, that garage that needed emptying, you would. Hope you got me there. So maybe that garage that needed cleaning, you set aside a day, you wanted to move forward and get it cleaned, and then found out that actually you prefer to go and watch something on TV. Whatever you've tried in the past, forgive yourself for what you tried to do to put it right. Now this is tantamount to having a clean slate. So that job that you went for, maybe you didn't get, maybe somebody else got it instead of you. Forgive yourself for thinking, well, I should have prepared more for the interview. And when you've cleaned up some of the stuff that you've looked back at to move forward to, then that's where you'll feel a real difference. So I hope this has helped. Just a little nugget of something that will take you not only through today, maybe through your week. You don't know what's coming up for your week. Maybe you've got plans for your week, and this Monday motivation might help. So subscribe to this page, the Jenny Kovacs speaker, coach and trainer page. Subscribe for any updates that come through, and I look forward to seeing you with your friends at 7 a.m. next Monday. Bye for now.